So, welcome to the Crystal Racing Podcast Live. Is Carlos Sainz a better driver than Charles Leclerc? Big question I asked on my Twitter page the other day. And there were a few people getting ruffled by that question. So, it's a very hard one to answer because, of course, Charles Leclerc is an exceptional qualifier. His general outright pace is, I think, is somewhat greater than Carlos Sainz, but Carlos Sainz makes significantly fewer mistakes. I mean, we have to remember Charles Leclerc is now, 26 years old? And we have to also remember Carlos Sainz is way better doing pit strategy calls than Charles Leclerc is. But yet, of course, Ferrari have decided Carlos Sainz is surplus to requirements and that he will be getting replaced by Lewis Hamilton for next season. Of course, that's obviously gave Ferrari a huge boost to their stock prices. And of course, we're going to be seeing a very interesting combination of Leclerc and Hamilton together next season at Ferrari. I mean, I know it was slightly pretty much was an opinion I came up with shortly after Carlos Sainz won at Australia. But since then, though, I think the hype has cooled off. It's just more of a case of maybe, possibly in some aspects, but it is very 50-50 between Sainz and Leclerc in terms of how good each one is. I mean, obviously, Charles Leclerc is 3 years younger, and of course, he was signed by Ferrari back in 2019, while Sainz had to wait until 21 to replace Vettel. Honestly, the thing with Charles Leclerc is that he's definitely got a much higher ceiling than Sainz, while Sainz has a much higher floor than Leclerc, who, as we all know, can be pretty awful when the car is not working to his liking. Whilst Carlos Sainz, as we've seen in his performances at Toro Rosso and McLaren, is very handy at driving a midfield car, regardless of what state it's in. He is somewhat similar to Fernando Alonso, albeit without the extraordinarily high ceiling that Alonso has as well. The fact is, I am still adamant that Mercedes and Red Bull have got to somehow find a way of signing Carlos Sainz for next season. It's not like, I mean, let's face it, Sergio Perez, that guy is not the future for Red Bull. He's a reliable number two, but of course, like we saw at Miami and Australia, he's still prone to making stupid mistakes under pressure. It's not exactly ideal. As for Charles Leclerc, I mean, Mercedes, of course, they've got a spare seat available now that Lewis Hamilton will be leaving the team for 2025. I mean, of course, I know Kimi Antonelli is an option for the Mercedes boys, although it very much is dependent on how well he does that in Formula 2 for Premier this season. Thing is, though, Kimi Antonelli is surely going to Williams. He's not experienced enough for that second Mercedes seat. He's still only 18 years old. Carlos Sainz would be an ideal fit-in the meantime, and he would be a good benchmark to see how good George Russell truly is. I mean, yes, Lewis Hamilton, of course, we have to remember he's now 39 years old. How much can Mercedes really measure George Russell to an aging 7-time world champion? It is very questionable because, of course, there's times where Hamilton's on top, but then there's other times where Russell's on top, and it is very hard to gauge whether that's a result of Hamilton aging or whether that's actually a proof that George Russell is the real deal. But I have to say, though, if there ever was a driver partnership on this year's grid that was close to being 51 to 49% in terms of who was the better driver, it's actually going to be Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Oh, hello there, Silverback. Carlos is the second best driver in Formula 1. That is bold. That is bold.